She's obsessed with her own ego and playing the victim.
You've hijacked this name from Queen Elizabeth. The least you can do is respect this woman, respect her institution, respect her name.
Megyn Kelly didn't mince words that day. She didn't whisper, didn't play coy. She stared straight into that cold studio camera, her eyes sharp and steady, and asked what everyone else had only dared to type behind closed doors. Is Meghan Markle really 44, or is she actually over 50? The question hit the air like a thunderclap. Within minutes, the internet caught fire. This wasn't your usual celebrity rumor. It wasn't about a dress, a smirk, or some red carpet feud. No, this was about records, documents, timelines, the things that define who someone really is. And once people started laying those timelines side by side, the picture of Meghan Markle's life started shifting in the strangest, most uncomfortable way. It began innocently, one photo. Northwestern University, early 2000s. Megyn beaming in a salsa club photo, surrounded by friends, the kind of candid memory you'd expect in a college scrapbook. Except, there was a catch. Fast forward to now, those same smiling classmates, they're in their early 50s, 52, 53, some even 54. Yet Megyn's biography insists she's 44. So to believe that, she would have been a wide-eyed freshman surrounded entirely by people nearly a decade older. Rare? Maybe. But something just doesn't add up.
Needs us to love her, so she will do whatever it takes, and she doesn't know how to make us love.
And that's where the whispers start weaving into a pattern. Alumni records show Megyn's name popping up again and again beside those same older classmates, the same group who now meet at reunions reminiscing about the 92nds, not the 2000s. Each time her name surfaces, the age gap glares back, impossible to ignore. Coincidence? Perhaps. But once you see it repeat, you can't unsee it. The trail stretches far beyond a few photos. Megyn's official birth date, August 4th, 1981, is printed everywhere, from royal archives to glossy magazines. It's repeated so religiously it feels carved in stone, yet the rumors never died. Some whisper 1977, others 1975. If those whispers are right, she's not 44, she's 48, 49, maybe even 50. That's 4 to 6 missing years. Not just empty calendar pages, but chapters erased relationships, decisions, a life quietly rewritten. And in the royal world, where every date is supposed to be sacred, even one inconsistency can bloom into scandal. Because if birth records can bend, what else might? That brings us to the palace and the document that made everyone's jaw drop.
Any respect for the institution she married into, she'd stop using it like a content farm.
May 2019. The official birth certificate of Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor was released. At first, everything looked standard. Rachel Megyn, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. Clean, official, unshakable. But just weeks later, boom, a change. Quiet, subtle, shocking. Her given names, Rachel Megyn, were erased. Gone. What remained was a stripped-down line. Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. The palace called it administrative, a harmless alignment with other royal mothers. But even insiders couldn't mask their confusion. Why change it at all? Why now? Why her? Kate's certificate didn't change. Diana's never did. The edit looked harmless until it wasn't. Because that little act proved one haunting truth. Even royal paperwork could be rewritten. And if a baby's birth record could change, what stopped older documents from doing the same? That's when fans turned into detectives. They started digging. High school photos, alumni listings, background documents, everything came under the microscope. Usually, you'd expect hundreds of raw, goofy old snapshots from someone's school days, prom, messy hair, group hugs. But Megyn's archive? Curiously tidy. Perfectly lit, perfectly timed. Every time public scrutiny heated up, a photo would magically reappear, an exclusive shot here, a biography scan there. People began wondering, were these photos organic memories or PR chess moves? TikTok blew up with theories. Split screens of Megyn's face next to classmates' captions shouting, "How is everyone else 54 if she's 44?" Creators looped Megyn Kelly's line, "Is she really 44?" over collages of Northwestern photos. Comment sections turned into courtroom debates. By then, even the mainstream press joined in. Each outlet rewrote the story with its own twist. Insiders questioned Megyn's birth year. Old photos revive age debate. Royal records spark confusion. The rumor hardened into something larger, a cultural obsession. And then came the perfect storm. Samantha Markle's defamation case against Megyn reignited in early 2025. Suddenly, Megyn wasn't just battling her sister, she was battling the ghosts of her own timeline. Because by now, one number kept echoing: 1977. It popped up in alumni chatter, old event pamphlets, and interviews with people who swear they knew her before the fame. Others stretched it to 1976 or 75. Each possibility pulled her age closer to 50. And 4 to 6 years might seem small, until you realize those years rearrange everything: her college timeline, her acting debut, even her first marriage. If she was born in 1977, her teenage years belong to the 92nds, not the 2000s. That shift rewrites history, her roommates, her moves, her milestones. 4 years might sound like a footnote, but in Meghan Markle's carefully curated life, it's a canyon. Former classmates started talking. One told Page Six, "We always assumed Meghan was our age." Then her biography came out, and suddenly she's years younger. Another said the alumni network is just confused, nothing lines up. And those old Northwestern photos? The visual contrast says it all. The students beside her, visibly mid-22nds then, are now 50-somethings. Yet Meghan's still 44 on paper. Hollywood insiders offered their take that this isn't deceit but survival. Age is a currency, one casting director told Variety. If you're 32 on paper, you get auditions 40-year-olds never even see. To them, Meghan's possible age edit wasn't malicious, it was marketing. But once she married into royalty, that line blurred. Strategy turned into secrecy. And secrecy, in the royal world, breeds scandal. By now, this wasn't just a gossip topic, it was an internet investigation. Fans became sleuths. TikTok timelines, Reddit charts, side-by-side class rosters, everyone hunting for the missing years. And in that hunt, one question echoed louder than all. If her age can change, what else can? The answer? No one knows. But credibility once cracked is nearly impossible to glue back together. By early 2025, Meghan's rumored age wasn't just a trending hashtag, it was headline material, colliding directly with her legal fight against Samantha Markle. The tabloids loved it. The lawsuits, the sisters at war, the irony, it was irresistible. Every article covering the case slid in a sly mention of the age drama, tying her court credibility to her life's arithmetic. For Meghan, it was a nightmare. To win in court, she had to defend her honesty, but every time she said, "my truth," critics pounced. What about your age truth? 4 years missing here, 6 there. Suddenly, her entire brand of authenticity started wobbling. Late-night hosts joined in, mocking the mystery. "We've found the 8th wonder of the world," one joked. Meghan Markle's birth certificate, it changes every time you look at it. Harsh? Yes. But the damage was done. Meghan's brand thrives on narrative control, curated imagery, polished interviews, staged lighting. But that control only works until the first crack appears. And this was a canyon. Every new photo, every exclusive resurfaced clip became another clue against her. Insiders whispered to Daily Mail that her team was in chaos, unsure whether silence would smother the fire or feed it. In the vacuum, the internet took over. Supporters launched #Meghan Truth, insisting she deserved privacy. Detractors fired back with #Markle math, posting memes comparing her to much older classmates. Some called it sexist obsession, others called it karma. But everyone had an opinion, because this was no longer about beauty or age. It was about truth, a currency rarer than ever in Hollywood or the palace. And in royalty, records aren't just trivia, they're legacy. Diana's documents are sacred. Kate's details are locked in archives. The monarchy is built on the idea that everything births, deaths, weddings is permanent and untouchable. So when Meghan's timeline starts to look like a movie script instead of a royal record, people take notice. And the more they dig, the more the question shifts from how old is Meghan Markle to how much of her story can we really believe? The cracks didn't stop with her. Royal commentators on the BBC admitted this scandal dents the palace too. If Archie's birth certificate could quietly change, what else could bend under royal pressure? Suddenly, tradition didn't look so timeless. It looked human, fallible, manipulated. By now, the debate had grown beyond the woman it was about the institution. Could the monarchy survive the internet era, where every discrepancy is a public autopsy? Meghan's mystery age became the perfect symbol, a single missing puzzle piece, exposing how fragile royal perfection really is. Hollywood, meanwhile, was quietly recoiling. Producers whispered that the age scandal followed her into meetings. In Hollywood, trimming a few years is forgivable, one former exec told Variety. But in royalty, your paperwork is your legacy. Once doubt creeps in, it corrodes, and that corrosion spreads fast. And it did. Netflix projects once hailed as authentic storytelling now faced side eyes. Even her public appearances drew tweets like, "She looks amazing for how old again?" Compliments twisted into accusations. Supporters fought back, pointing out that stars like Jennifer Lopez and Halle Berry faced the same scrutiny. Why single out Meghan? They asked. Because, critics shot back, Meghan isn't just a celebrity. She's a duchess. And duchesses aren't supposed to have mystery years. Online, the divide deepened. Her defenders saw cruelty and sexism. Her critics saw manipulation and spin. But underneath the noise was something colder, a sense that the fairy tale had cracks, and behind those cracks, a woman scrambling to keep control of her story. As one royal watcher said on a podcast, this isn't about her being older, it's about people feeling played. The royal PR machine tried to redirect the storm, focusing on her charity work, new projects, motherhood, but the algorithm had already decided what the world wanted. Every time her name trended, Meghan Markle age was right beside it. And so she walked into 2025 trapped in the story she once controlled. Every resurfaced alumni list, every fan-made timeline, every old photograph, a ghost from a past she can't rewrite. Maybe she really is 44. Maybe she's older. But now, it barely matters. Because perception has replaced truth. The myth is the story. And that's the cruel irony. The more she polishes her image, the more people look for the scratches. Every edit becomes evidence. Every perfect frame becomes a clue. By the end of the year, the question wasn't whether Meghan Markle was 44 or 50, it was whether she'd ever escape the brand she built. The Duchess, the actress, the influencer, each version of her built on control, yet undone by a single number. And maybe that's what Megyn Kelly exposed without even realizing it, that Meghan's life isn't being rewritten by critics. It's rewriting itself, one rumor, one document, one missing year at a time. So as the lights dim on another royal chapter, the question lingers: if one contradiction can shake a palace, what happens when the next one surfaces? Because it will. It always does. And when it does, we'll be right here, watching, whispering, waiting. Subscribe, hit like, and don't blink, because the next royal rewrite might already be happening.